Hi, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and we are going to answer some questions today about our 10 minutes of kettlebell training idea. I'm going through the comment section here on YouTube and reading back on everybody's questions, and people are asking a lot of questions now about 10 minutes of kettlebelling and is it enough time in order to be relatively fit? The answer is yes and no, the same it was in the other video. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do a math video. I know these aren't the sexiest videos out there, but the math video is pretty pertinent to how this actually functions. I wanna explain all this stuff here up on the board to you real quick so that it actually makes some sense. So 10 minutes, we're gonna use one exercise right now as our basis, and we're gonna pick swings because it's probably the most important one that you can do, and it's the easiest one to get the most amount of benefit from. Starting at the bottom, 16K. This is just for reference. We're using the 3 standard weights here that we originally used in our KC back in 2006, 2007, 16K, 24K, 32K. We are not gonna do all the math in between because my board's not that big. I'd need a board that went all the way up to my 20-foot tall ceiling in order to get that all on one board. We're just gonna do a couple of the high points here to illustrate a point. 16 kilogram, which is about 35 pounds. We're gonna convert this into pounds so that people actually understand it in their head. It's something relatable in America. If you're in England or overseas in Europe, back convert it, the math is the same. Change one unit out for the other. 35 pounds, let's say we have 10 minutes. So we are gonna do 10 sets inside of 10 minutes. That's 1 set every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. 10 sets in 10 minutes. And we did 10 reps for each set. So we would have 10 sets times 10 reps would give us 100 total reps over the course of 10 minutes. At 35 pounds, we would be moving 3,500 pounds worth of weight in 10 minutes. What we do is we're gonna call that work capacity. I'm not gonna write the full word out because it's not gonna fit on the board. The goal is simply to make your work capacity go up. The smallest unit you can go up is 1 unit, and you could go then 11 reps, 12 reps, 13 reps, 14 reps. We're gonna go just to 15 reps for illustrative purposes here. 15 reps times 10 sets is 150 reps. We are gonna multiply that by 35 pounds or 16K, 5,250 pounds. That's how much weight we moved in 10 minutes. Kind of the goal number that most people want to get up to for swings is sets of 20. You can go a lot higher than that. Just doing this for math illustration purposes. 10 sets times 20 reps per set gives us 200 reps total. 35 pounds times 200 reps is 7,000 pounds. So there's a whole series of workouts right there. 11, 12, down to 20, 10. So you have 10 workouts there. 10 separate workouts there. If you did this 10 minutes twice a week, you have 10 workouts twice a week. That would give you 5 weeks of training. 5 weeks of training per weight. We get to our 7,000 pound mark. We doubled the work capacity for that exercise in 10 minutes. We did twice as much work in the same amount of time. Then you would get a heavier weight. 10 sets in 10 minutes, 10 reps. 53 pounds, 24 kilograms, our 1.5 pood weight. 53 pounds, really I think it's 52.8, but we're rounding. 100 reps times 53 pounds, 5,300 pounds. Work capacity. So our work capacity for 10 reps compared to our work capacity for 15 reps. We're actually doing more work by doing fewer reps with a heavier weight. We're gonna build that up. 150 reps, we go to 150 reps, we get 7950, we get to 200 reps, 10 sets of 200 reps total in 10 minutes, we get to 10,000 pounds moved in 10 minutes. If you're moving 10,000 pounds of weight in 10 minutes, you're doing a good amount of work, which will yield you to be in good shape. The goal here, we get up to getting to our 32 kilogram, kind of the target weight of most people, most men, 70 pounds. 70.8, round down to 70 pounds. 10 sets of 10, 100 reps, 7,000 pounds moved in 10 minutes. We get to the point where we double that. We get to 20 reps. We get 14,000 pounds moved for that exercise in 10 minutes. Is 10 minutes enough? It definitely can be if you follow the math. Most people just want to pick a weight and do 10 sets of 10 and do it that way forever. That works, sort of, but it's not progressive. The goal of all training is to get incrementally better at something and be able to define it. If we get incrementally better at something, then overall, we have a training effect which we can rely on and we can predict over time. When people come into the gym, they start somewhere in this area. It could be 35 pounds, it could be heavier, it could be lighter. This is just for explanation purposes. And then the goal is to double it from 10 reps to 20 reps, and then to take our initial weight and double it at least. Somebody walked in here and they started at 3,500 pounds in 10 minutes, and they got to 14,000 pounds in 10 minutes. It's a 4-fold increase in the amount of work that you're doing on one exercise. 4 times. We want to do that with every exercise that we do. If we're doing workouts in a controlled environment, then we want to control our outcome. So this is different than what you might call, what do they call it? What's the word they use? Muscle confusion. This is not muscle confusion. This is getting really good at one thing. This is what I like to do with people because everybody else does muscle confusion. I don't know why I really need to cover that. You can go to CrossFit and get muscle confusion all day. I love CrossFit. It is muscly confusing. It is very muscly confusing. The way that you get good at anything is you get really good at a small number of things. That's how people become very good athletes. So you have gymnasts. They don't go in and do muscle confusion, right? They start at a very young age and they learn a very specific set of skills that evolve over time and they get super good at that set of skills. That set of skills is burned into them forever. Same thing happens with ballet dancers. They start dancing when they're 5. By the time they're 18, it's literally impossible. They put in 20,000 hours of effort and they become better than kind of the rest of us forever. Because they've put in so much time at a limited number of things and it causes a permanent adaptation. Same thing is true of martial arts. You get judo guys, they spend 10 years chucking people, they get really good at chucking people and that gives them their base of athleticism. The problem that most people have in training is they try and do too much variation too fast instead of deciding to just get good at a limited number of things first. Get good at a limited number of things first. Very simple. Swings. Doesn't require a lot of space. Doesn't require a lot of time. Will very much make you at least 4 times better at something. You know your hamstrings and your glutes are working 4 times better down here at the bottom than they were up here when we started. If we can make people's hamstrings work better, we can make their hips snap harder, then we have one thing that we can work on. And then we do this same type of thing for every exercise that we want to do. Our basic 6 of kettlebelling exercises, swing, clean, press, snatch, Turkish get up, squat. We want to do the same kind of math program for all of them so that we get, so you pick a starting point, get at least 4 times better at it, get really good at it, then you can start worrying about muscle confusion later after you're really good at a small number of things.